Hi, welcome to this ESCO software solution demonstration series. In this episode, we will be covering Share and Approve. All participants have been muted. At the end of this demonstration, we will unmute for question and answer. My name is Bart Meerschart and I will be your host today. Stay tuned for additional sessions. An event calendar is hosted on esco.com/brand solutions. Share and Approve allows you to shorten approval cycles by 3 times. Take control of your approval cycles. They're often confusing and regularly cause production delays. With this solution, you have a unique cloud-based tool to upload, share, annotate, and get those approvals done really quick. Now, wait a minute. I can hear you think, doesn't ESCO have another approval software called Web Center? And you're absolutely right. So let's put this a little bit in perspective. In today's webinar, we are talking about Share and Approve. You can see that Share and Approve really focuses on sharing assets and getting those assets approved. With that, you can see it comes at a very low cost, very easy to implement, and a lesser amount of features. But you'll be surprised. Stay tuned. If you need to capture things like project briefs and be able to communicate back and forth and have a wider set of features available, you should look at the next level up, which is the Web Center Quick Start solution. If that is not enough, let's say you really want to start creating workflows and customize, then the Web Center mid-tier or the full-blown Web Center would be more appropriate for your company. But as you can see, each of these solutions has their own specific use case. Share and Approve allows you to very quickly share your files and get approvals back. Simply drag and drop, start the approval, and you're good to go. Approvers can look at the assets in 2D and 3D and make annotations. You'll be able to follow up on approvals, invite people, and see where your files are at in that review cycle. When new versions get uploaded, you'll have the opportunity to compare versions with one another using some unique inspection tools in that viewer. So let's go ahead and log in to my Share and Approve site and show you what that looks like. For today's demonstration, I want to use a beer label. So you can see here in my documents that I have a couple of folders and I also have some files sitting here. The file I want to route for approval is a beer label. So let's go ahead and browse to that specific file. Here it is. It's actually not a label. It will be a print on a metal can, 7.5 ounce. So I can simply drag and drop that right here, which will now upload this file, allowing me to set up the approval cycle for that file, typing the name of my user. So let's say Bart at Dulac is going to be the person at pokemail.net is the person that will be inspecting that email. As you inspect other people, for example, other Dulac at pokemail.net, let's say I want a second person, the Share and Approve allows you to set the language for unregistered users. So let's say that since that person is located in Quebec in Canada and only speaks French, you can see that that person will receive the email notification and the interface in French. I can specify a message, please approve, and I can decide to add a due date. You don't have to, but typically people tend to, tend to tasks when you give them a due date more readily than if you just tell them, hey, go ahead and approve this whenever you want, right? So let's go ahead and give him until tomorrow, 5 o'clock, and start this approval cycle. It was that easy. So again, I drag and drop my file in there, I started my approval, and 3 clicks later, I now have an invitation that was sent to my stakeholder for approval. That was easy. Now, let's put on a different cap and pretend for a moment that I am Bart at the Du Lac Brewery, and I need to inspect that new design for that can. So I am going to log into my email, and right here, Bart Dulac at pokemail.net. I am waiting for my email to arrive. And there we can see that a bunch of emails have been sent to that user. Now that immediately brings me to a very important feature inside Share&Approve, and that is customized emails. So with customized emails, you can really make sure that your approver doesn't get inundated with email after email. And I'll show you how you can set up different email schemes for different users. You can even do email bundling. So if you have multiple files that you send out, you can instruct Share&Approve to wait 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and then take all these files, create one single email, and ask for approval on that file. So here we can see my first file being sent to me. I have right here my email with also a link in there, and I can view this document. As an approver, I immediately end up in this Share&Approve viewer. I can see when my link expires. I can see the file, and immediately I have the magnifier, so when I click once, I can see that I'm zooming in. And right here across the top, you can see a set of different tools. Now, in the beginning, when you roll this out to your customers might not be familiar with this viewer. So I recommend setting up different workspaces for your user and limit the amount of widgets or tools that they can see. That will make it easier for them to embrace this viewer. Notice across the top here, we also have the possibility to ask for a 3D view of this file. So this gives me that same file in a 3D. And using some 3D setup tools, I can ask to see this on a flat sheet, on a curved sheet. In the case of a can, I can do a full 360 and maybe simulate a foil board. And that way I can kind of get an impression of what that beverage can might look like. Now keep in mind, we can also upload these Esco 3D Studio tools and upload the actual can with the graphics on there. And I'll show you that in a minute. Let's hide this 3D for now. You can see you can always pop it up right here and start inspecting this label. So at the brewery, Bart notices that the designer made a mistake, needs to be 8%, which is already pretty high for a beer, wouldn't you say? So the designer made a mistake right there. No worries. I also noticed here the phone number ends in 5, so we need to update that. somehow using this annotation tool, I'm going to highlight and ask, what is this? Barcode problem, question mark. So this might give me a problem, not sure what's going on there. And then inspecting this a little further, I can also see here, and I'm going to use the arrow annotation tool, that there is a space there. So go ahead and remove this extra space. There you go. So those are some of the things that I noticed that were not accurate. All my annotations are saved in that file for that specific version. I can consult these right here. Notice across the top here as well, let's quickly cover the other tools. I can rotate, I can mirror, I can measure, I can see distance and angle, width and height, X and Y position, and use that information also to make annotations. Furthermore, I have a densitometer, which gives me color readouts. Again, I can use this information in case there's a problem with the color breakdown. We have a built-in UPCA reader here, a barcode reader, telling me that this is a UPCA code. We also have a Braille tool and a caliper tool. We have a text tool, so if I select a specific type of I can search for that. So if I search for example, for the word luck, I can see here there's 2 instances of the word luck. I can use this as well to detect which font was used. So this is a Glypha size 10.8. And I can also inspect the font size. So going to a total view, I can highlight any font that's below a minimum font size. Okay, I have made my annotations. Right here, we've seen the 3D view. We have a channel view that shows me, again, the different separations that are used to build up this file. We have approval details where I can see who was invited to participate, further information, layer information, and then the 3D sheet. So I'm going to reject this. Please make changes. Excellent. And I'm going to close this. So my job is done. In the meantime, back at the marketing department right here, we can see, let's see, where am I? Share and approve. Exactly. Let's go home here on the left-hand side. No, this was not the one. Let's log in with my credentials. There you go. Let's close this viewer. Here we are. So back at the design studio, we can see that the file right here was rejected. But you can see it's still pending. Why? Because there was a second user, as you might remember. Now, if you don't remember, you can simply click on the info, and that will show you right here that not only did Bart need to look at this and he rejected it, but also this user right here has rejected it. We're still waiting actually for that user. So to get the demo going a little faster, I'm going to remove that user from the approval cycle and finish that approval cycle. So that will give me a final conclusion of that label. So you can see that you can easily make changes in current approval cycles. As a designer, I can see what annotations were left in this file. I can simply go here and I can see all the annotations that were made on that file. This gives me a good idea of what I need to change. And once I made that change, I can upload that file right here by picking my second version. So let's go ahead, and I already prepared this change. So here's my second version. Once the file is uploaded, I can now still decide to add or remove users, change whatever I want, and then start the approval cycle anew. This means that my user Bart will receive another email. So if we go back to our inbox, we will see here that here the user has rejected the document, and seconds later we see that a new stage has been started. And here is the new email that just came in. Please approve the following document. So again, as a user, I can simply log in. I can see here my previous version, and this time I can compare it with the new updated version. Again, right here, using these compare features, I can see both flavors. I can swap out these different flavors for each other every couple of seconds, highlighting the difference between these. So if you zoom in here, you can see version 1 and version 2. Let's go back to a total view. We can also do this and present the labels on top of one another and highlight the differences between these two files. And I can do that by displaying the graphics, ghosting these graphics back, or really drawing out what is truly different between these two versions. That way I can be absolutely sure that the changes I made are indeed the ones that were requested. Going back to my new version, my current version, I see all the changes were made, and I can now go ahead and approve this file. Once this file is approved, I can close my, right here, I can close, and I will be able to see here, if we refresh, that this file was now finally approved. At this point, I can continue with my supplier activity, do trapping, and prepare it for this printing process. What's really nice is that you might want to download a report, for example. You can do that right here for this file. And let's go ahead and open that with Acrobat. This will give you a nice overview of everything that happened to that file when it was uploaded, when the second version was uploaded, who approved it, and all the annotations that were made on that specific file. So that's a pretty nice built-in feature here. So, and you can with that you can again say what type of report you want, and you can also display all the versions. So if I do all versions, and let's go ahead and open that, that should give you an idea of the annotations that were made, and then for each of those what the customer actually said. So a very nice comprehensive overview report. Furthermore, here in the approval section, we have some nice overview of my dashboard. So these are approvals that are waiting for me, approvals that I have done, and approvals that I need to follow up on. For each of these, I can filter and see which ones are still pending. Get a nice overview right here with due dates, what customer they're for. And I also would like to draw your attention to these built-in statistics, maybe not as robust as the Web Center Quick Start, but nevertheless, it gives you a nice visual overview on done approvals by approver, by decision or by stage. And again, here you have a list of all records, and you can go ahead and start searching in those records in case you need to find a specific file. So one more thing before we come to the end of the demonstration, and that's a little bit around setup and customization. So as you start using Share&Approve, you might want to customize your own Share&Approve website. You can do that by going to the customization, and here you can set your title of your site. You can pick from predefined color themes. You can set the look and feel for each of the elements right here for buttons, panels. You can define hyperlinks, upload your own logo and logo link. Go back to the setup. I mentioned that you can also set up and customize your email notifications. So these are the email notification schemes and the bundling. Also customizing these emails. So this gives you a lot of flexibility in the frequency by which Share&Approve will send out emails to different recipients, and also the look and feel of these emails. One of my favorite features in here is the email bundling. If you're not sure what that means, you can always find here this little universal info button, which will display the help pertaining to a topic you might be less familiar with. So here we can see that email bundling will collect emails for the same recipient, which fulfills the bundling criteria based on a specific time period. When that timeout triggers, one consolidated email is sent out to that recipient. One of my favorite features. Approval preferences allows you to set whether you want your customer to allow these emails, these approvals to be forwarded to registered and or unregistered users, or simply do not allow those approvals to be forwarded. A request that came from our customers, and we implemented that here in Share&Approve. The general site settings allow you to define a maximum upload site for your files and download rights for different roles, whether or not these people are able to download these files to their desktop or just view them and approve them. So with just a few clicks, you can see that you can easily configure the Share&Approve look and feel in a variety of different aspects. Right here, you can see the viewer preferences that we mentioned earlier that you can also customize. So if you are interested in starting your own Share&Approve, it couldn't be any easier. You might have noticed here in the beginning that we have on our website, www.esko.com, looking for Share&Approve, this Start Your Share&Approve trial. With 3 simple steps, you can have your own Share&Approve site and start sharing your customers, sharing your assets with your customers. You can simply click on the Start Trial button, create your ESCO ID, create your site and customize your site as I briefly mentioned, and then as I showed you during the demonstration, drag and drop a file, set the approval cycle, and start the approval cycle. So I would say give it a whirl. If you would have some more questions, don't hesitate to request a custom Share&Approve demonstration. We're here for you. You can request this right from our website. Just let us know some basic information to get in contact with you, and we would love to host a custom demonstration to answer all your questions. With that, we have come to the end of the demonstration. Now, there's one thing I can't remember if we actually talked about this or not, but that is pertaining to the approvals. Actually, we did, right? So I showed you some statistics, yes. Okay, and then you can also go ahead and archive off some files and do some further calibration. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to share with you as well before I let you go is the transaction model. So as you decide to purchase Share and Approve, you will be asked to purchase a number of transaction count. And each transaction is, for example, an approval or an upload of a file. This you can then view and make sure that you haven't reached your total number of transactions, how many you have left and how many you have used. Find out more information about this transaction count with your Insight salesperson or your ESCO salesperson. So with that, I'd like to thank you for joining us today for this Share and Approve demonstration, and stick around for another episode coming up here shortly. Have a great rest of your day.